What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mouzakis and we are locked in. This is episode 7, The Son, Clickbait. We seen the brother of Sarah, Simon. Now, they got my boy locked up. He ain't do nothing. He kidnapped the wrong person. I'm sorry. We all make mistakes. Free that boy Simon. But now we get the son. And the last thing we seen was the son texting somebody, Al 2005. Talking about thanks for that support. But before we get into this and break down what the son is doing, probably messing up, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and you can be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, the son is texting somebody, Al 2005, and we're wondering, is it a girl? Is it a boy? Who is it? And why is it just a nickname saved in here? But it's probably some social media app. But let's jump into it. This is episode 7, The Son, and see what Ethan is out here really doing. Now, it's the kid's first day back at school. Ethan comes in. He got the music playing, got the AirPods in. You got the other little brother, Kai, over there. He just walking around like, da-dee-dee-la-dee-da. I thought he was smaller when they were showing it earlier, but it looked like they both in high school together. Now, the mom is telling them, school is going to be tough. It's your first day back. People going to look at you. People may say some things. But let's just make it through the school year, man. Don't get into anything and just don't let anything bother you. But when your dad just died and it was put on YouTube type, oh man, you already know these kids about to have something to say. Of course, kids, he ain't looking up. He just walking around texting. Al 2005, man, it sucks being at school. And they're like, oh yeah, balls. As an old saggy old man, scrotum balls. So they just having a normal teenage conversation. Now, when I was growing up, we didn't have text messages like that. I had a two-way pager, and there was only a couple of us that had them two ways. Open it up, make it happen. Now, Ethan, he sees a girl at school. Hey, Rose. And she's looking at him like, oh, man, I didn't know you was coming back to school. And all the girls around her, they're just looking like, your dad beats women. Your dad kills women. So no one really knows what's going on. We don't know the truth. So she's acting a little different. He's like, man, everybody at school is acting different. My mom was actually right about something. Of course, there's always a troll or a bully. Now, the bully comes over to him like, hey, did your mom just have sex with Curtis? Or was it the whole school staff? And everybody like, ooh, they laughing and stuff. But Ethan, he's playing it cool. He's not trying to get into it with anybody. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger man and I'm going to walk away. But the troll, he's just going at it. Oh, man, I might get the chance to sleep with your mom. I always thought she was hot. As Ethan walks away, the little brother Kai was like, oh, no, you ain't about to talk about my mom like that. Bow, hits them, busted them all up. They on the ground tussling. Now, Kai got the first punch. But somehow when they get on the ground, he on the bottom, kicking and screaming, trying to get up. Ethan comes over and breaks it up. He's like, man, what are you doing, man? Just walk away from it. And Kai's like, nah, I'm not going to let him talk about my mom like this. Now, if you can't fight, don't get into no fight. That's what I would have told my little brother. Like, hey, when you hit him, if you're going to drop him, stomp him out. Don't go down to the ground with him. Because you go down to that ground, you better be ready to do some things that you ain't ready to do. Of course, they get sent to the office. The principal's like, oh, no, we don't need the two kids in here. You and I, we need to talk. And pretty much telling Sophie, you were sleeping with faculty. Your husband has died. I don't think this is the best place for you and your kids to be. Pretty much saying, y'all need to get about this school district. Y'all can finish the school year, but y'all need to leave here. And of course, this is always something that people do. Now, they're not going to fire her because if they fire her, that's a lawsuit. But you can make recommendations for, hey, it'll probably be best that you guys leave just because of all of the negative, attention that you guys are going to be drawing in. Ethan is the older brother. So when he gets home, he's talking to his mom and Pia. And he's asking her, hey, what were the guys like? The two guys that kidnapped my dad. I want to know how they were. Now, Pia, she actually seen them. She seen Daryl and she talked to Simon. So for her, she's like, man, Daryl, he's a junkie. He's low on the evolution pole. And she just saying like they were bad guys. But Ethan is old enough to understand what was going on. And he's old enough to hear what happened. Because I'm assuming he's like 16, 17 years old. So they telling him. But of course, Sophie, she didn't really want to talk about it that much. Pia does go into details that someone was catfishing. Someone was using all of his images and pretending to be Nick and talking to all these women. So we do know that Nick was not messing around with all of these women. It was a fake profile. Simon, they kidnapped the wrong guy. So our boy Nick was actually a pretty good guy. He wasn't doing nothing wrong, taking care of his family, his kids, and his wife was out here messing around on him. And then he got whooped on because his wife's boyfriend whooped on him and he didn't pay that tab. Man, he died a man owing somebody some money. Now Ethan is texting back and forth with Al. We want to know who is Al 2005. But he's just telling them, yeah, this is what's going on. My aunt actually met the guy. She seen who actually kidnapped my dad. And she's like, what? How does she know that your dad didn't do this? How did he know that Simon and them weren't lying about it? And he's just saying, I trust my aunt. So we're gonna have to find a different lead. Now he's watching interviews online. I told them to take all this internet away from the kids. They don't need to be seeing this stuff. But again, don't let me contradict myself. Ethan is old enough to know what's going on. And it's his dad. Come on. So he's online. He's looking and they're talking to Mandy. Dirty Secrets, Nick Brewer's first mistress. And they're like, hey, Mandy, were you in love with Nick? She was like, I never even met him. And he hears that and he stops it like, wait a minute. She never met him. So this is aligning with the catfish. I said, if you're talking to somebody, if you can't get a live video from them, a FaceTime or a video chat, then it's probably a catfish. It's 2020 when this was recorded. It's 2021. If they don't have a phone with a camera or a computer with a camera, you don't need to be involved with them unless they got like a flip phone or something and they really just ain't really into the cameras. But that's very rare, like 1% of people. So now he's hitting up Al. He's going through some stuff and he wants to figure this out. And she's willing to help. He sends a picture of himself like, I really want to see you in real life, IRL, in real life. She sends a picture back. I'm like, okay, got him a little Asian over here, Al. Okay, it's a girl. So we know he likes girls. We know that she's supportive. She's Asian, but he wants to meet her. And she's like, I don't really know about this. So she's hesitant. Still could be another catfish. Get the video chat going, brother. Now, Kai and Ethan, they have different views on things. Now, Kai was trying to delete old videos of him and his dad. I guess he didn't want to see it. Whether he's not believing that his dad was a perfect man like he thought he was. He was out here messing with other women. Whatever it is, he's trying to delete the videos. Now, Ethan, on the other hand, he's older. He kind of knows what's going on. He's doing investigation on his own. He sees, hey, my dad was a good guy. He wasn't really out here doing nothing. He was getting catfish with all his photos and stuff. So he's just watching old videos and reminiscing on the good times he had with his dad. While he's doing all that, he gets an email from Mandy Harrison, the lady we seen. He reached out to her like, hey, is it all right if I talk to you? Cause I'm his Nick's son and I want answers. So she emails him. He takes all of this information. He goes to Pia and she's talking about, what do you want, Ethan? I have to go to work. Forget all that right now. Look, I just got an email from Mandy. And aside from Sarah Burton, no one's really met Dad. So it's really a catfish. No one has met Dad. So this is making him think, let me contact Emma. Because did Emma actually meet? Did she actually meet Nick? But she's not going to talk to Pia because Pia's been on her case since the start. So it looks like the son, Ethan, is actually putting in some good work. Detective Roshan, honorary detective Pia's here. Oh, and she brought her nephew this time. Ethan, the older son, not the curly, the taller one. Yeah, they brought him in. They need some of the case files. But she's going in and she's saying, hey, Mandy's never met Nick. Sarah's never met Nick. None of these girls have met Nick. And he's like, yeah, I know, we're just doing our job. But Pia wants the job to be like this. They want everybody in the precinct to just be on it. Boom, 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 boom. Stop everything you're doing. Figure this Nick case out. But they're like, hey, we're doing our job. It takes some time. We got Simon. Simon kidnapped him. Simon said he didn't kill him. You said you believe that he didn't kill him. So we got to work with what we got. Now, Pia's doing all this without any information, any kind of guidance from the kid's mother, Sophie. She's like, where were you at with my son? Oh, we went to the police precinct, and we talked to Detective Roshan. She's like, quit talking to them without me. Matter of fact, stay away for me and my nephews. Let us figure this out. Let the cops do their job. Now, Sophie, I understand and I respect where she's coming from. You got the kids being drugged out to the police station and stuff. Like, you're crossing the line. And just like I was getting at, they are in Oakland. We don't talk to the police. You see the color of our skin. And Sophie is telling her son, Ethan, look, yeah, you're trying to help, but don't do that. Never go talk to the police by yourself. He's like, well, I was with Aunt Pia. Aunt Pia is different from us. She has different things that she goes by. She's white. We're black. We don't go just talk to the cops and do whatever the hell we want at a police station, because it doesn't end well for us most of the time. But Pia, she can go do that. And plus, I think they kind of messing around. Your auntie, she's a wild one. Now, Kai got to go to school and do a little mediation because, you know, that little anger, he's out here fighting people. And Sophie, listen to what she says. Ethan, can you promise me to just stay at the house? Don't go run around doing anything. The moment you tell a kid to stay home is the moment a kid is about to wild out. As soon as you leave, he going, well, she gone. I'm gone. He's been begging to see Al 2005. Can I see you, please, in real life? And she's just playing him off. But eventually she gives in and she gives that GPS location. We about to hop in the Uber and get over here. Because I told you, whenever you tell a kid to stay put, kid's about to wild out. Once he gets over there, they in the hood in Oakland. You got people riding by in low riders. Now, whenever I drive through Oakland, I don't stop. You know what I'm saying? I ain't from Oakland, so I don't know which hoods I'm good in, and I don't even risk it. But he goes over here and he has a little weapon in his hand. Turns out Al's dad opens up the door. He's like, I knew you was a catfish, you liar. And then Al comes to the door like, oh, that's my dad. He's like, oh, puts the weapon down. If I'm the dad, I'm like, hold up, young blood. You ain't coming up in here. No, y'all can sit outside on the porch. I'm not about to let you go to my daughter's room, especially a black guy that came over with a weapon. Now they're in the room talking. Now she's kind of awkward. She says she has anxiety, you know, saying she's an introvert. So she's not really good with communication face to face. And she's asking him, is he surprised with what she sees? I would have said, man, that filter you had on made you look a lot better than what you do in person. You look a little, how can I say it? Bummy, dirty, tired, something. You should have got yourself together if you knew you was going to have company. But one thing about Al, she's going to help Ethan. They get on the computer. Hey, Emma, this is Ethan, Nick's son. Can you get in contact with me? I just want to talk to you and ask you some questions about my dad. They get on a FaceTime with each other and he's talking to her like, hey, I'm Nick's son. And how deep into the relationship were you? And she was just explaining like they were in love, blah, blah, blah. But we all know it was a facade. So he says, wait a minute, before you leave, she's like, I can't help you anymore. She doesn't want to talk to the son. Like, your dad is dead. I thought I was talking to him. So she's kind of trying to get him off. But he said, before you leave, did my dad sound like this? And he plays a recording from the video he was watching earlier. And she kind of tears up and she says, no. That's not what the voice sounded like. Danny, when I was talking to him, that wasn't the same voice. So it was a catfish with Emma also. She was just thinking about all of these things happening with Danny, aka Nick. None of that happened when they were in the bed kissing. None of that happened. So now Al is saying, hey, if you can get pictures from them, send them to me and I'll figure out where they actually got sent from. Now we head over to Aunt Pia. Pia, she's going to talk to Tara. Now, you remember Tara is the one that was working at the store when Ben came and talked to her, invading all kind of privacy. I told you if I was the boss, I would have been on Ben and that cameraman's ass like, hey, get up out of here. But they're here and she's talking. Now, she did have an argument with Nick, but that was because she quit the volleyball team and he was just trying to get her to get back on the team. Nick is a very good guy and Nick was looking out for the players. But it turns out her issue was actually with Matt, their friend. You remember Pia confronted Matt like, hey, you went to LA with Nick. Why is this going on? Well, Matt was messing with Tyra and they got into it and he threatened to release, sexy videos and pictures of her online. So the issue with her wasn't with Nick. Their argument was about volleyball. Her issue was actually with Matt. So could Matt be the person that killed Nick? Let's find out. Pia goes to the school and she goes to Matt's office. Now, when she goes into Matt's office, she gets on the computer and she's like, hey, log me in. Now, Pia's looking at it and there's a lady named Dawn. Dawn is the one that helps people do stuff around the office. You know, she's like the helper. And she opens up the computer for Pia. They get into Matt's computer and they start pulling up all kinds of pictures of my boy Nick. And we're looking at it. And down here in the corner, we got the pictures at the beach. You know what I'm saying? The 2 pictures that were photoshopped. But she's going through it and Dawn is just sitting there like, oh my gosh. But we're on to something. Maybe Matt is our new lead. Back at the Brewer house though, comes out, mom said, look, we're going to finish the school semester out and then we're leaving and starting fresh. Ethan, he understands and he's like, dang, I really don't want to move. But Kai, he's younger, so he has friends there. He's like, I don't want to leave. I got friends here. Ethan, you don't have anybody. That's why you want to leave and you don't care. And they get into a little argument, but the mom's like, hey, y'all both got to calm y'all asses down. I'm going through it also. I'm like, yeah, mom, but you kind of started all this. Pia's running around. Hey, Roshan. Yeah, man, I'm in the middle of an investigation. There's another body over here. I'm on another case. And she's like, you just going to drop my case like that? He's like, oh my God, get off my phone. But she starts to tell him about Matt and the pictures that she found. He's like, wait, did you get permission from Matt to get those pictures? Because this is kind of illegal, you know, going onto someone's computer without their permission, taking photos of their stuff. That's no different than breaking into the house and taking photos. You got mad about that, then you should understand why this is illegal. Pia heads straight over to Matt's house and confronts him. And Matt's like, hey, what was you doing in my office today? Don let me know you was on my computer. She like, oh no, what you were doing with that girl, you was gonna release photos? He said, hey, look, what me and her had was a consensual relationship between 2 adults. I may have made those threats, but I wasn't really gonna release nothing. So he's like, you know what you're doing is wrong because you can get in trouble for releasing stuff, especially in California. If you post revenge porn, oh, you getting in trouble for that. So he kind of snatches her up. And the roommate's like, hey, what's going on here? And Matt, he just leaves because it's like, man, I thought they were gonna get me in trouble for those pictures. Kai, him and Ethan get into it. While they're downstairs, Kai goes upstairs and he hears the computer go off. And he's already been trying to see what his brother Ethan is working on. When he goes in there, he sees a message from Al because Al's found out where the pictures came from. And Kai takes the location and heads over there by himself. I tell you, letting kids do things on their own never end good. There you go, episode 7. Kai is headed over to this random spot. We don't know who lives there, but he's headed over there and Lord knows what's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Matt had something to do with it? Or Matt was just an innocent bystander that got caught up in some nonsense? Comment below. Let me know what y'all think about that. I'm J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got one more episode left. Episode 8, The Answer. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.